Hey guys, in today's video, I'll be showcasing Reuniclus from the Temporal Forces expansion set. Now what makes Reuniclus unique is because of its attack Summoning Gate. For 1 colorless energy, look at the top 8 cards of your deck, and you may put any number of Pokemon you find there onto your bench. So it doesn't matter if it's a basic stage, a stage 1, stage 2 Pokemon, a V-Star, V-Max, EX, or even a GX Pokemon, you name it, you can put it straight to your bench, given that you have space on your bench for all of the ones you want to set up with Reuniclus. While this attack may have potential as a powerful early game setup, comparing this one to my favorite Pokemon in the Sword and Shield era, that is with Orbeetle, I think this one is just okay. Because while Orbeetle can only set up stage 2 Pokemon, there are ways you can guarantee a bench full of stage 2 Pokemon in a single turn. But this Reuniclus is more or less RNG based because you can only set up Pokemon depending on what you find in the top 8 cards of your deck. One great way to guarantee at least 2 of your Pokemon you want to set up, however, is to use Cypher Maniac's code breaking. This allows you to search your deck for 2 cards, shuffle the rest of the cards, then put the 2 cards you chose on top of your deck in any order. So with this, you can pick the 2 Pokemon you want, place it on top of your deck, then use Reuniclus' attack to place those 2 Pokemon straight to your bench. Setting up Reuniclus will be your first challenge, and this is actually the one really huge downfall to Reuniclus because it is a stage 2. You will want to set up at least 2 Soloses on your board so that you can guarantee at least 1 to survive just in case your opponent targets one. Otherwise, you lose the game if you don't set up Reuniclus. And unfortunately, in some cases, having only a few copies of Soloses in your deck will actually put you in an auto loss situation, especially when RNG decides to put all of your basic Pokemon as prizes, leaving it inaccessible for you to set up. Although we do have Hisuian Heavy Ball to counter that situation. And in this video, I will be presenting at least 2 different types of builds, and they also have 2 different options on how to set up Reuniclus. The first option I have from one of my builds is getting the help from this Luxray. While it is a stage 2, this has the awesome Explosiveness ability, whereby if you have this in your opening hand, you can set it up as your face down starting Pokemon. This is helpful since it has the attack Seeking Fang. For 1 colorless energy, you deal 50 damage, and you also get to search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards and put them into your hand. This is very useful for seeking out your rare candies or whatever you need to help you evolve into your Reuniclus. On my other build though, I do have Rotom V and the Forest Seal Stone combo so that it gives you that option of just grabbing the 1 card you need to completely set up Reuniclus. There are a few advantages to the Pokemon you set up by using Summoning Gate. One advantage is that you don't have to go through the evolution stages to set up your other Pokemon other than of course Reuniclus. So you just skip all the evolution stages and just set up your Pokemon on your bench right away. And another advantage is that the evolution Pokemon you set up this way will be immune to any devolution effects of any kind, such as the TM devolution card. And I actually have 2 showcases for you in this video. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the featured deck lists in the description below. And now enjoy the following gameplay videos featuring Reuniclus. Before we get into the video, I have a small request. If you're liking the content I create, please leave a like to this video and please support this channel by subscribing if you haven't already. This is a small click for you, but for me, it means a lot. Thank you so much for all of your support. Alright, on to our first match, and we're gonna start this one with a Skwovet in the active spot. And actually one of the reasons why we need a Skwovet is actually so that we can keep our Pokemon in our deck. Because if you didn't know, to use Reuniclus' attack and set up your Pokemon on your bench, you need to search your deck for it. But with this Ultra Ball, we will sacrifice Incineroar EX. I am using this deck centered on Pokemon that uses fire type energies to attack, and we need to set up our Soloses. It's very important that you set this up on your very first turn, and ideally you will want at least 2 of these set up on your bench. It's easy to set up other Reuniclus once you use its Summoning Gate ability. You can just put another Reuniclus with that attack, but on your first turn or your first setup, you will ideally need at least 2 of these Soloses, because if your opponent can attack on their first turn going second, they could just keep targeting Soloses and they can keep you from evolving into Reuniclus, and you will never be able to set up your other Pokemon. So they can gatekeep you that way, and so you just need to keep that in mind. Having 2 of these is ideal during your setup. Now we are going against Meowscarada EX And we do have Charizard EX in this build. And it is worth noting that when you use Reuniclus's attack to set up your Charizard EX, the ability Infernal Rain will actually have no effect, because this ability is very specific. You have to play a card from your hand to evolve into this Charizard EX, to evolve one of your Pokemon so that you can use it and accelerate up to 3 basic fire energies from your deck to attach to your Pokemon. But since we're just putting it straight from our deck to the bench and not from our hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, this ability will not work. But it has a powerful attack, and you guys already know, late game it can deal a lot of damage. But again, because we are going against the grass type, we will probably not be playing this. Hopefully we will not be able to. But my opponent will evolve into Floragato with their TM evolution. But we will be able to actually evolve into a Reuniclus this turn because we have Arven. We can get Rare Candy and a Forest Seal Stone. We have Nest Ball. Probably get our Rotom V and be able to get any one card from our deck. But there's no way for us to guarantee any cards to set up, so we're just gonna take a risk here and use Summoning Gate. And look at this! We got Skeledirge, Incineroar, EX, and another Reuniclus. So, not bad. Not bad, RNG. Okay. I'm happy with that. Because we don't have one Charizard anyways, that's fine. And I am using Skeledirge EX in this build. Now, Skeledirge EX has a really awesome ability, Incendiary Song. Once during your turn, you can discard a basic fire energy from your hand to use this ability. And when you do that, your attacking Pokemon, your active Pokemon, its attack will do 60 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Or at least attacks used by your Pokemon. So, I'm thinking Alakazam then. You can actually increase its attack by 60 even though it attacks from the bench, right? So this is a really nice ability to increase your attack, and it also has a really nice attack, Luster Burn, which deals 160 unblockable damage. So that's that. So my opponent actually evolves into Meowscarada EX, dealing only 80 damage because our Reuniclus did not have initial damage counters on it, so it only does 100 base damage, but with that double turbo energy, it lowers their attack by 20, so only 80 damage. So for now, I have a chance to use Summoning Gate again, and we got Pidgeot EX. And Pidgeot EX is actually really great as a search engine for this build. So as we know, Pidgeot EX is very broken with the quick search ability. Once per turn, you can just search your deck for any one card. It is a stage 2, but we just easily set it up thanks to Reuniclus's ability. And of course, we also have Incineroar EX. This will be our main attacker because it has the ability Hustle Play. You can use its attack for 5 energies, but because of the ability, for every Pokemon your opponent has on their bench, you reduce the attack cost by 1 colorless energy less. So, since my opponent has 5 Pokemon, we will just minus that 4 colorless energy. We can attack with Incineroar EX for a single fire energy. And then we can search our deck for that fire energy using Pidgeot EX. And once they knock out my Reuniclus, we can start attacking and knocking out their Pokemon with Incineroar EX. Now, Meowscarada EX, like I said, deals at least 200 plus damage when the Pokemon it's attacking has initial damage counters on it. So with their Alakazam, Radiant Alakazam, moving those damage from Reuniclus to our Incineroar, they can actually deal a lot of damage. And now with 2 Meowscarada EX in play, our opponent can use their abilities. By discarding 1 grass energy from their hand, they can put 3 damage counters to one of our Pokemon, and that's a total of 6 because they have 2. As long as they have the means to keep discarding those energies, they can just spread those damage. But thankfully, we have a lot of HP to go around, so I'm not too worried about it. But for now, we're just gonna advance our Incineroar EX in the active spot. They did take a knockout against our Reuniclus, and we got Fire Energy from our top deck, which is pretty insane. So now we can just take a knockout here with Blaze Blast. It's more than enough, 480 damage to knock out their Meowscarada EX, getting us 2 prizes. So this is a pretty easy matchup, I hope. I mean, my opponent has already taken 2 prizes, and that's what I mean with Reuniclus. Sometimes it's just, is it really worth taking the time to set up your other Pokemon while your opponent can take advantage of that time to build up their prizes, you know? So we've already lost a lot of prizes just to set up our other stage 2 Pokemon on the bench. But Reuniclus is pretty awesome too, in that you can set up any type of Pokemon. You can even set up maybe Arceus V-Star. I mean, there's so many ways you can experiment on this, but it comes down to that question whether or not it is worth it. It's high risk, high reward type of strategy. So we were able to knock out one Meowscarada EX, but now my opponent has been able to evolve into another one. They will continue to keep up with the damage counter spread and Radiant Alakazam to spread even more to our other Pokemon. I don't think they can knock out Pidgeot EX though. It still has a lot of HP before they can knock it out with Meowscarada EX's attack. But they are finding those energies to discard to keep using their abilities. And they're gonna put more to our Pidgeot EX. They're pretty much there though. Alright, they're dealing 200 damage to our Incineroar EX. Got another Fire Energy. I mean, we could attack with our other Skeledirge. Our Incineroar is at the brink of death though. And let's see what we could use. Quick search here. I guess I could get Neo Upper Energy. So while it's attached to a stage 2 Pokemon, it counts as 2 energies of every type. So Skeledirge can attack. For the meantime, we're just going to take advantage of another knockout against their Meowscarada EX, getting 2 more prizes. So it's just a matter of being able to knock out 1 more Pokemon to win this game. So once they knock out Incineroar, they'll get 2 prizes. So they just need to knock out one more 2 prizes. But they're gonna boss my Reuniclus. Alright, very odd. That will put them in danger because we could just knock them out with our Incineroar EX. I mean, they could have still won probably if they just knock out our Incineroar. Because Skeledirge EX is only dealing 160, if anything. 220, right? Yeah, and again, the downside to Reuniclus is you sacrifice it by setting up your Pokemon. Because, of course, you use Summoning Gate, and then your opponent's just gonna knock it out. I think what they're trying to do here is knock out my Incineroar EX by putting damage counters on it, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. And they don't even deal enough damage to our Reuniclus. Well, that should be game. We could just use Pidgeot EX to quick search for a switch. And, I mean, we can even use Professor Turo's scenario to remove a Pokemon here. But we're just going to use a switch. And my opponent will concede. Alright, I will accept that win. Good game. Alright, so in the second match, we are actually gonna start with a Luxray. I will take this hand. We did have to take 3 mulligans there. You can choose to mulligan if you want, but all the components that I really like are here. So thanks to Luxray's explosiveness ability, it allows us to start with it as long as it's in your opening hand to put in your active spot, and even though it's a stage 2, which is really nice. So as long as you have an energy and a way to get your basic Pokemon set up on your first turn, I will take that hand. So we have energy to power up Seeking Fang attack, and also Arven to get us the item card we need to set up our Solosis. So we're going against Charizard EX in this matchup, and I feel like this is a winnable matchup. And we're gonna center our attention to Serena EX with the Icicle Soul attack to reduce our opponent's HP down to 30, and we're gonna combine it with Vanillix with the Frigid Room, which prevents any Pokemon with 40 HP or less from attacking. With the Hisuian Heavy Ball, there's really nothing important prize, which is really nice. And with Arven, I'm gonna get Buddy Buddy Poffin and Heroescape to add 100 HP to our Luxray. And with Buddy Buddy Poffin, I'll just get Solosis, 2 of them on our bench. Just in case my opponent targets one, we have a reserve so that we can evolve into our Reuniclus. So we have Rare Candy. All we need is an Ultra Ball and Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, which will guarantee us the 2 Pokemon that we want to set up on our bench when we use Reuniclus's attack. So Heroescape is going to help us survive even if my opponent evolves into Charizard EX. Luxray has 260, and since we haven't taken any prizes yet, they're only dealing 180 damage. So we should be able to survive at least one attack and continue to use Luxray and hopefully set up our benched Pokemon as soon as possible. But let's see how my opponent sets up here. If they evolve into a Charizard EX, they can deal a lot of damage to Luxray. And we're probably just going to switch out into a Reuniclus and set up our bench Pokemon as soon as possible. Alright, there's the Charizard EX. They can evolve and... No, they're just gonna pass. Alright, well... in that case, if they're gonna stall, I could set up a Reuniclus now. So use this Ultra Ball. Discard these 2. Luxray has free retreats. 0 retreat cost, so we can just retreat it. Then we can evolve into a Reuniclus. Could energize it now. And I think I'll just save my Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking. I will take a knockout here against Charmander. I'll take this opportunity before they evolve. At least they can evolve only one Charizard EX. And then I can just get something to evolve into another Reuniclus in case they bosses order my other one. Let's see here. I'm gonna get Rare Candy. I'll just get these 2. That's fine. So at least we get one prize ahead of our opponent. And another Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking. Nice. As long as they don't Iono, I think we should be safe. And if they do Iono though, again, they will not be able to take out Luxray. But if they do, well, they can't. If they bosses order my Reuniclus, which they won't because they are using Arven, so we should be good. We should be able to set up here actually. So one thing that Reuniclus, I think the idea behind it, or at least the strategy behind it, is using the Pokemon, setting up Pokemon that you can use the same energy. So in this particular build, I'm actually using Shift Tree as well with the Expelling Tornado attack, which can be very disruptive. You can choose 3 Pokemon from your opponent's bench and then have them discard the rest. So this could be very useful, and you can easily set it up with Reuniclus if you happen to have it available. But for now, we're gonna focus on setting up our Serena EX. So my opponent finally evolves into Charizard EX. Again, since our Luxray has a huge amount of HP, they're dealing 210 because we did knock out one of their Charmander. At least Luxray still survives an attack, and I think it is time to set up our Pokemon here. So I'll get Serena EX and Vanillux to start. And we're just going to retreat into our Reuniclus. And since we're searching out the top 8 cards, there's always a chance you'll get more than what you actually need. And in this case, we have Mr. Mime, so I'm just gonna set it up. So now we have a full board of Pokemon. Very nice. Now, Reuniclus is easy to be knocked out because it is weak against Dark. Anyways, Charizard EX deals a lot of damage. So, oh, dude, they're also using what is this? Collapse Stadium to limit both players' bench size to 4. So I'll just take out Luxray and it's fine. We've already gotten all of the cards we need for a nice setup anyways. But yeah, I have Mr. Mime in this build because it has the ability Mimic Barrier. Not so much this, but this ability actually prevents attack damage if you have the same energy. But Psi Power is really great because you can put 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. It's a great way to finish off your opponent's Pokemon when you have depleted their HP down with Serena EX. But with the maximum belt, they're dealing a lot of damage, 260 to our Serena EX. And we have no energy and no way for us to search our deck for it. This is a really bad predicament. I'll just get Reuniclus, I guess. Set up another one and hope for the best. I mean, I could use Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking to guarantee Pokemon in the next turn. Let's see, I could use Arven next turn. We can search. We can use Energy Search to search for an energy, but I need to guarantee also an energy and the Serena EX. I think this is fine. So next turn, my opponent will knock out our Serena EX, which is unfortunate. They'll get 2 prizes for that. But next turn we'll get an energy, and then we can just pivot into Reuniclus, set up a Serena EX, and we should still be okay. So what we're gonna try and do is prevent them from attacking once we have set up everything. So I guess just don't panic. Don't panic. So we got an energy, which is really nice. We're just gonna use Summoning Gates, and we got Serena EX. It's very unfortunate that there's the Collapse Stadium. Otherwise, we would have been able to set up Pidgeot EX with a quick search ability. So that is very unfortunate. They're gonna boss our Serena EX again. Wow, they're just getting the cards they need, even without Pidgeot EX set up on their side. But it might be incoming. There's the Ultra Ball. If they have Rare Candy, they can set up Pidgeot EX, and this could mean trouble. But at least they won't be able to knock out our Serena EX, right? Oh, they're just gonna get Charmeleon. Okay. Burning Darkness for 260. Okay. Alright, so what's the plan here? I could just prevent this active from dealing or attacking. So with Icicle Soul, we will reduce its HP down to 30. And again, thanks to Vanillux Frigid Room ability, they will not be able to attack at all. But our Serena EX is at the brink of death. You just have to evolve into Charizard EX. Retreat this active because they have the energy that they need to retreat with it. Then just finish off our Serena EX. But thankfully, they only have 5 cards in their hand. Do they have the card they need to evolve? They do. Okay. So they will evolve into another Charizard EX. And no way for us to reduce that guy's HP. Alright, they're gonna go for a retreat. And a knockout here. And then we'll have to recover our Serena EX. I mean, we have one more in the deck, but what is the probability of us being able to set up? And that's one of the things with Reuniclus, you know? There's really no guarantee unless you have Cypher Maniacs code breaking to help you set up. So I'll just prepare my Mr. Mime, I guess. And could put that there. I'll use Iono. I could reduce their card down to just 2. And then we will recover these in 1 energy. So we'll have a higher probability, right, of getting a Serena EX here. Come on, give me a Serena EX, please. Alright, we got one. Alright, we got one. So at least if my opponent targets my other Pokemon, they'll only get 1 prize. So they're not winning this game just yet. And all we need is 1 energy to power up Serena. Reduce this Charizard EX's HP down to 30. And then we will prevent it from attacking. But they have Radiant Charizard. Thankfully, we haven't taken a lot of prizes yet. So it's going to take more than just 1 energy to power it up. So they're just going to take out my Reuniclus, which is really, really good for us because hopefully we get an energy here. Come on, Iono, we can draw 5. I just need an energy, please. If we whip this, we will lose. There it is. There's all right, I will definitely take that. And we're just going to Icicle Soul this Charizard EX. And now it cannot attack. Thankfully, they didn't target my Vanillix. Otherwise, that would have been a losing game as well. And they cannot attack. Very nice. Alright. So I will Icicle Soul this Radiant Charizard as well, because it's a pretty dangerous attacker. If they evolve into Pidgeot EX, all they have to do is boss my Mr. Mime, but thankfully we were able to reduce their hand to just 3. And I will just Icicle Soul this guy. What I could do next turn is actually start taking multiple knockouts with Mr. Mime. Oh man, what I'm afraid of is if they can evolve into Pidgeot EX. But thankfully, because they have to use an Arven, they can't use a boss orders. So even if they manage to attack with a Pidgeot EX, we can reduce its HP down to 30 as well with Serena EX and prevent them from attacking. So this is a huge disruption for sure. So never underestimate Serena EX. But it comes down to this question, guys. Would you rather use Reuniclus to set up Serena EX or just do it the old-fashioned way? I mean, Irida is a great way to actually set up Serena EX. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. So we have 2 energies available to us attached to Mr. Mime, and that will actually prevent attack damage from being done to it by their Pokemon with 2 energies. And Celine is great in this build. We got 1 head, so now we can recover whatever card we want. I could go for Hero's Cave actually, but I want to go with Iono. They are getting a lot more cards, so if we can prevent them from evolving into Pidgeot EX, that would actually help. So maybe we can Iono them down to 1 again. And I'm just gonna Wait, why didn't it affect the one on the bench? Oh, because they have this guy. So Stellar Veil prevents damage counters from being done to their benched Pokemon. Alright, well, we have to have a plan B then, because we can't really... I mean, we can finish off this active with Mr. Mime, but I really don't want that to happen. So for now, I'm just going to use Hand Trimmer. This is a really great disruption to prevent your opponent from stacking up cards in their hand. So both players have to reduce their hand discard until they only have 5 cards left in their hand. So with that, I'm going to use Iono, have them draw 1, and when we draw 5. So with that, I will power up my Serena EX. We can actually attack with Serena EX as well. And I'll just finish off this Charizard in the active. It's gonna get us 2 prizes. And it's gonna take them a while before they can set up another Pokemon on their bench, which is really nice. So with just 1 card left in their hand, I doubt they can... I mean, if they have Professor's Research, maybe, but... Okay, another Arven. So this is Charizard EX full of Arvens. But we can take out this Jirachi, and then we can spread damage to their benched Pokemon. They have Super Rod to help them recover their Pokemon. And Forest Seal Stone's not going to help them unless they have a V Pokemon available to them. But slowly but surely, we can take our prizes here. We can take out Jirachi, and then all we have to do is take out their Charizard EX to win this game. So hopefully our disruption sticks, and we're just gonna put 3 damage counter to Jirachi, take it out, and then we will take a prize. Alright, very good. So far so good. Our disruption is going great, and Mr. Mime is just is cleaning up fairly well. So they take another pass. The Radiant Charizard is unable to attack, and we're just gonna take out their Charizard EX to get our last 2 prizes. There it is. Reuniclus got us through with the instant setup, but what do you guys think? Effective or not? Let me know in the comments below. Good game. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and until next time, please stay safe and have a great day.